Hey guys, welcome back to this Django e-commerce website tutorial series. Today we're going to continue with the to-do list. So specifically for today we're going to work with the admin pages for the vendors. So I want to add a button up here where the vendors will see a button where they can go and create new products. So let's begin by adding the button up here, or we can begin with the page so we have something to send the user to. So if I open up base.html, then I can find the menu, just like we do with this account. Then href can just be empty for now, class, text white, and vendors. Or my vendor, my store, maybe my store is better. My store. Yes. So when we click that, we want to go to a page where you will see all of your products as well as the possibility to create new products. So if I just open up the file explorer here, then in the user profile I want this to be located. So if I go into view.py, I want to have it here. So def vendor admin, or maybe we can call it just my store request. I'm going to return render request, and then the template user profile / my store.html and save. So then we can add this to the URLs as well. We have already imported this, so we can just add it below here, path my-store / and then we want to use views.my store, which is just created, and set the name to my store. And then we can actually change the base.html to use this. So URL my store. So this name is then this here, of course. So now I should be able to refresh and click this and get the template does not exist error because we haven't created that yet. So that will be the next step. Before I create it, I just want to rename this to my_store, just so it's a little bit clear and concise. And then in here, I create a file, my_store.html. So I can copy the top from this file, paste it, my store and my store, and block, and save. So now the template should be there. Nice. So then here I want a list of products, and then below this here we can have a button where we can click to add new products. So let's begin with the button. href can just be empty for now. Class py4 px8 background, BG teal 500 and text white. Add product. Save, refresh, and then we have this. Since this is a link, we need the inline block just to fix this here. And then we can have some space up to the title. So margin top 6. Nice. And then below here, I want to have a list of your products. So h2 class text xl my products. Okay, we need some space here as well. empty-6 looks a little bit better. And if you don't have any products, we can show a little alert below here. So p class py4 px8 bg gray 200, and you don't have any products yet. Let's see what this looks like. Great, and some space up, empty 4. Nice. But I think this user has products, so we only want to show this if we don't have any products. So if products, then we go in here, has products, And if not, we want to show this. So else. And then we can close this and if, and we can indent everything there so it's a little bit better. Nice. So if I refresh now, I will still see this because this products variable is not available yet. But we can actually use the models file for this. So if I go into store models.py, all of the products that my user has created should be available to the request.user. So I can actually just say if request.user.products. Then I know that that user has products. So if I refresh now, it says has products instead. So then in here, I can loop through all of the products and show them. So if I just make a copy of the front page HTML text, I can copy this div, paste it here. And then I just need to fix this. So I can say request.user.products.all because we want to get all of the products in the database that this user has. And refresh. Okay, there was none. Okay, maybe I should say .all here. Yes, because the user I'm signed in with now actually doesn't have any products because I'm not in with the admin user. Okay. So then we will come back to seeing this after we have made it possible to add products. And to make it possible to add products, we first need to create a form for this. So in here, actually the form should be located in the store since that's where the model is. So forms.py. Then we can import forms from Django. From Django import forms. And we can import the product model from .models import product and class product form. We want to use something called a model form here so we can generate forms based on the database model. So we just say forms.model form. And then in here we can use the class meta to configure this. So we need to specify which model we want to use. So model equals product, which points to this one. And then which fields we want the user to fill out. So let's create a tuple here. And we know that we want the user, but we don't want to select this user in the form. So we skip this, but we want the category. So category, and we want the title. We don't want to let the user specify the slug, so we're going to generate this automatically. But we can have description, price, and image. So description, price, and image. And these two will be added automatically. So that's everything we need here. Just remember to add a comma at the end here, since this is a tuple. And now that we have the form, we can import this into this view and show it. But before I continue, I just noticed that I have forgotten to add the login required decorator here. So if you try to go to this page without being authenticated, you will probably get an error. Instead, we want the user to be redirected to the login page. So here we can just say login required. And the same goes for the My Account page. So now you can see that we get an error here because we haven't imported this. So from django.contrib.auth.decorators import login required. And then the error is gone. Nice. So now we have imported the form. No, we are not imported, but we're going to do it here. From store.forms import product form, and we can also import the product model, so we have it from store.models import product, and we can also get the category in case we need it. So then below the My Store we can create one more view. So at login required because we want the user to be authenticated. Def add product request, and then we can just return and show a template for now. Add product and save. So then we need to import this to the URLs as well. Path my-store/add-product/views.add product name add product and save. So then I want to have a link to this. I want to fix the link on the my store here. So here we added this button. We can say URL user profile add product, like that. So that should hopefully work now. User profile is not registered namespace. Okay, just take this away for now, refresh, and then I can click this, and then I get the template does not exist yet. Perfect. So that's the next step then. So first make a copy of the top here and create a new template, add product.html, and then end block before I forget it, add product, and the same here up in the title, save and refresh, and everything there is working. Nice. So then we can show and render the form here. Form method should be set to post, and action can be the page we are on now. And since we are going to upload files, we need to set the enc type to multipart form data. If not, the files will not be sent together with the post. And we need to set the CSRF token for security. And then I can just render the form by saying form.sp, which stands for S paragraphs. And then submit button. Button class py-4 px4 8 bg teal 500 text white. Maybe you also want to add a hover effect on this. And then say hover bg teal 800 submit and save. So if I now refresh, we have this button, and we also have this effect here when you hover it. Of course, this doesn't work yet because I haven't put it here in the context. So here we can say form equals product form. Just create an empty instance, and then we add it here, form, and save. If I now refresh, we have the form here, the description, the price, and the image. So ingen fil valgt, it's Norwegian for no file selected, in case you are wondering. So we can select from the categories available, fill out the title, and similar. Great. So I will come back to styling this later because we can't have it like this, of course. But we now need to handle the submission, because if I click now, if I fill out blah blah blah, then nothing happens, because when we are submitting to this here, nothing happens here because we are not accepting. So just like we do down here, we check if the request method is post, then we know that the user has clicked submit. So then we can create a new instance of the form and pass in the request data, request.post and request.files. So then we are passing in the information and also the file we are uploading. Now we can check if the form is valid. That is valid. And then we know that the form can be saved in the database. But if you noticed in the models, this field here is required but is not filled in. But since it's not a part of this form, the validation will be okay. But if we try to save this to the database by saying form.save, then we will get an error. So to fix this, we can say product equals form.save, commit equals false. So now I will create an instance of the product, but it will not be sent to the database. And then to add the user here, we can just say product.user equals request.user, which is the authenticated user. And then we can say product.save, and then it will be committed to the database. And when this is done, we can redirect the user back to my store. So return redirect my store. And if it's not a post request, then we can create an instance like this. So save. So if I now go back, refresh, then we can try to add a new product, food, test food. Okay, sorry, before we do that, also we need to fix the slug. So product.slug equals slugify title. So this and this needs to be available. So title equals request.post.get title, and then slug equals slugify title, and replace this with slug. And then you see here that we get an error from the Visual Studio Code saying it's not imported. So we need to go to here and say Django slugify title, because I don't remember how to import this. There, from django.utils.text import slugify, like that, and then the error is gone and we are now automatically generating a slug. Actually, you can just move it down there so it's a little bit nicer. So then we can try this, just refresh to make sure everything is good. Test food, this is the description, 100. Let's upload the file and submit. Okay, so now we can actually see that my product has one product. The price is $1 because I specified it in cents, which we probably need to fix because we want the user to specify this in dollars and cents. But I can click this now and I can see that this was added by code with Stein. I can go into this vendor and see these products and similar. Nice. And you can see here that the slug was fixed automatically. Great. So if I go back to my store, we will have this. We have the possibility to create new and more products. Nice. Okay, so I just want to go back here and clean this up a little bit because I see here that I imported both of these and I don't need them, at least not now. And there's probably more things that can be fixed, but I will come back to those things later. Right now I want to fix an edit form for this. So instead of viewing the product when we click this, I want to go to a edit product page. So we can begin by creating the view at login required. So it requires authentication, def edit product request, and then PK for primary key. And then we can get the products from the database. Product equals product.object.get, where primary key is the one we get from the URL. And we can also filter to make sure that the user you are logged in with is the owner. So user equals request.user. And now I need to import this model. Whoops. From store.models import product. And then we can use the same form. So form equals product form. And copy this and paste it. Maybe we can actually just reuse this template. So save. And then we need to import this into the URLs file for the user profile. Oops, path my-store / edit-product. And then here is an int because we are expecting an integer called primary key. Views.edit product name edit underscore product and save. Great. So if I then go to the list of products in my store, we can replace this with edit product, and then here we can just specify the product.id, or you can use product.pk if you wanted to do that, but product.id is also correct. So if I go back and refresh, there is something wrong in my code. Okay, maybe I can just restart because yes, I fixed this. So if I now click this, it says add product and add product up here. So we can fix that by providing an extra variable down here. Title, edit product, and the same thing on the up here on the add product. So now you can reuse this. And here we can say title, which will refer to the variable we just created. So now this says edit product, and if I go back and click add product, the title is that. But we are still reusing the template and don't have to think more about this. So then we need to make sure that this here is filled out. And to do that, we can say instance equals product and save. So if I refresh now, you can see that the category and all of the fields are filled out. I can also clear here if I don't want to use this image anymore, and I can click here, bulk field, choose file if you want to change this. So then we need to make sure that we are handling this again when the user click it. And if so, is a form equals product form. And we also want the request.post here and the request.files. But if I left it like this, we will just create a new product. So to make sure that we are overriding or just saving to the product we are changing, we can say instance equals product here as well. And if it's not a post request, then we use this one. Great. So then we can again check that if form.isValid, then we know that everything is filled out as it was supposed to. And we can just say form.save. Now we don't need to handle this because those fields are already fixed. So now we can redirect the user back to my store again and save. So if I now try to refresh, test food 2, submit, then test food 2. Nice. So now we can add and edit products. Nice. Before I continue, I just want to say thanks to all of my patrons. If you too want to support me, you will find a link in the description below. But I want to have some feedback here for the user. I want to show a message up here when we add products, change products, and also delete products. So to do that, we're going to use the Django messages system. Django messages system, or the Django messages framework it's called, sorry. So I know that by default this is already added to the installed apps list from Django. So that's okay. So now we just need to import a few things. I think I can just use this, yes. So go back here, contrib, edit at the top. So then we import a function called messages. Then we can create a new success message by copying this. and add it down here. When we have saved a product, the product was added. And then down here we can say the changes was saved, like that. So then the next step is to show these messages. So if I go into my store, I want these to show below the title but above this here. So here we can actually just say if messages, because Django automatically provides this for us. Then we can loop through them by saying for message in messages and for, and then we create a new div here. Div class px8 py4 bg teal 200, and the text can be text teal 800. And then in here we can show the message by saying just message and save. So let's try to see if this works by going back to my store, edit this, submit, and yes, the changes was saved. And if I refresh now, the message is automatically gone. Nice. But we want some space up to the title. So let's try again. Yes, that looks much better. Nice. So now we can show information to the user when changes has been made. We should also make it possible to delete products. If I go in here, maybe we can make it possible to click here to delete a product. So on the add product, then we can check that if the title is, for example, edit product, then we show this button. So if title equals edit product, then, and if before I forget, and then an href, go to an empty page for now, class py4 px8 bg red 500 text white, delete product, and save. So refresh, and then we have a simple delete button. Maybe we should have some space up, so empty to an inline block. Nice. So then we need to create a new view to handle this. So let's go back to views.py and just make a copy of these 3 lines, because we're going to use the exact same thing for this view. Delete product. But deleting products can sometimes cause errors and similar in the system. So instead of deleting them, we are just going to set the status for the product to deleted. So we need to make sure that this is possible in the database model by adding a status field to this. So we want to make it possible to choose between different statuses for the products. One of the statuses can just be draft. One can be waiting approval, in case you want to make sure that you are approving products before they're getting to the website. Waiting approval, and active, deleted equals deleted. We can add more of these later. And then we need to create a new tuple for creating a choice list. So status choices equals tuple and another tuple in here. Here we can add the draft first, and then the label we want to show in the forms. Waiting approval, and then this is the information we're storing in the database. So instead of using numbers and similar, we're actually using short strings because they are very easy to understand what actually do. Active, and deleted, deleted. Nice. And then we need another field down here. Status equals models dot char field. Max length can be set to 50 because none of this will ever be longer than that. And then to make it possible to choose between this, we just say choices equals status choices. And then we need to specify a default value. The default value can either be active or waiting approval or what you want, but default for me should just be active. And save. And since we now have made changes in the database model, we need to update the database. So Python manage.py make migrations and Python manage.py migrate. Great. So now I can run the server again. So now that we have this status field, we can do some changes here. So when we delete a product, we can just say product.status equals product.deleted. So now this points to the field in the model, this one, this constant, and set the value to be deleted. And when that is done, we can say product.save. And then we can create a new success message. So just copy this, paste it, and then we can say the product was deleted. And then we redirect the user back to the My Store page. Return, redirect, My Store, and save. So now we have the view for this, and everything should be okay because we can only delete products that the user owns. So if I go to the URLs page, we can add it here. Path my-store delete product. Then we expect an integer here. Int pk, just like the added product. Views.delete product. And the name is delete product. And save. So then the last thing we need to do is to go back to add product and replace this URL delete product, and I need to specify the product we are on. So we can say product.id. And that makes it easier actually to know when we are on an added product. So we can here say if product. So if I now go back to views.py just to make a little change here. Here I want to pass this product we get up here to the template. Product, and save. And this value or property does not exist on the add product view. So if I now go back and refresh, we still have this button. And if I click it, I should be redirected to my store again. And this now says the product was deleted. But we still have the product here. So should we hide this when it's deleted, or should we just mark it as deleted? I think it's maybe just best to just hide it here when it's not active anymore. So if I now go to my store, I need to create a new variable here. Products equals request.user.products.all. And then we need to make it available in the template like that. So if I go back here again now, we can say if products, and then we just loop through them here as well. If products. So this should still be the same because this is deleted, but we haven't filtered on what we want. So instead of saying .all, we can say filter, or exclude is probably the best. Exclude status equals product.deleted, and save. So if I refresh now, it says you don't have any products yet. Okay, so let's try to create a new one. New food, the description, blah, 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 and then the price, specify this in cents, and then an image. submit, and now I have this here. This status for this product here is now active, so it should be showing here. And if I go to the front page, the problem is that this is showing, but this is not available yet anymore because it's deleted. So we need to fix this a few places. So if I go to core views.py, we have the front page, then we need to filter it here first. So filter, here I want to use filter and not exclude, because here I only want active products. So filter status equals product.active. Save, go back and refresh, and now it's gone from there. Nice. But if I go into food, it's there, so we need to fix it there as well. So I can just make a copy of this part and go into store views.py. Then we can first fix it in the search. So add the filter there and the category detail. So then it's fixed there. Nice. And also we don't want to make it possible to go into a product which isn't active. So status equals product.active and save. So now that product is gone from there as well. But I think if I go into new food, click code with Stein, the problem is here as well. So the last place we need to fix this is in views user profile and find the vendor detail. So I can actually just create a new variable here, products equals user.products.filter on this one. And then products, and the reason why I do it back here in the view is because in the template we don't have possibility to use this filter and similar. So if I now open up the vendor detail page, then instead of saying for product and user here, we will get to all, we need to change this to products and save. So refresh, and now we only have the active product. Nice. So if I now go back to my store, maybe we should show the status for this product somewhere. So maybe below the price we can have this. So if I just close a few of these, so many files, and then I open up my store. Then I open up my store.html, and then below this title, or the price, add an HR, just for some separation. I can also add a class to this, my3, so I have some space above and below. And then below here I can say p, I don't have any class, strong status, and then product.status. Save, refresh, and now it says status active. But this is the value stored in the database. I would much rather get the models.py value, this one active with the capital A and similar. And to do that I can say get underscore status display, and then Django will fix this for us. If I refresh now, I will get this. Nice. So now I know which status this product has. Great. So now we have made it possible to add, edit and delete products for the vendors. So then I can set this task to done. Before I continue, I just want to do some refactoring on the products, on this project, because we have some repeating code a few places, and that's not something I like. So if I open up templates, front page.html, then you notice that this code here is multiple places. So I want to copy all of this actually, and then I can open up store templates, store, and create a new folder there called partials. And then in here, a new file called products.html, and here I can just paste this. And then instead of having it here, I can just say include store/partials/products.html, and then Django will fix this template for us. If I go to the front page now, this still looks correct. I just need to make sure that every time I use this template that I pass in the products variable. So now I can copy this, close this file, and then go to the other places that I use this. I know that I use this, for example, in store and search. Then I have it here as well. So I can remove all of this and just replace it with this line. So now this template looks much better. So we can try to search just to make sure that it's working. Lamp. Yes, the search is working. Nice. So then I can do this on the category detail page as well. So remove this div, paste this, and save. So now this template looks much better. One other change that I want to do is in the user profile. Add product, it's not the best name since we are using this for editing as well. But I'm not sure what I want to call this, so it can just be called edit product. Or we can rename it to product form.html. Now we just need to update this where we use this. So product form and product form and save. Now that is a little bit easier to understand when you see the template itself. Okay, besides this project starts to look good now. Maybe I should do some changes to this template here, because it can't look like this. We need some styling on this form. So then I can search Django how to style forms and see what we get here. I just open up the first article. I don't want to use the crispy form project, so I just want to see what's done here. And I don't want to hard code the style. I want to make it possible to add the classes to this. Yes, so there I have it. So if I open up the forms.py file again, then you see that I can specify widgets together with the model and fields. So widgets. And then I want to change can begin with the category. And this is not a text input. I'm not sure what it's called. Forms. Probably select field or something. Select, yeah, just select. Okay, and then attrs for attributes equals, and then class px4 py4, so it can actually just be p-4, and border, so it's 1 pixel width, border color, border gray 200. I'm not quite sure on the syntax for that, but I hope this will work. So let me try to save this, go back, refresh, and yes, that was correct. So now I have some styling on this, and I want this on the other fields as well. So Then we can go to the next one, which is title forms.input headers. Then I can copy this, paste it, and the same with the description, price, and image. So make a few copies here. Description, price, and image, and save. So this should probably be file input, yes, and the description is a text area and not a regular input. So refresh, there is something wrong, has no attribute input, okay. Char field, maybe. Save. Got an unexpected errors. Okay, on which line? On line 13. That is this one, so it's not a char field. Text input, okay, sorry. Maybe this is the correct one. Just stop and start this again. Okay, so refresh, and now all of the fields are styled nice, but I want this to fill out the whole screen. Changes was saved, that's not correct. This is supposed to be a text area. Forms text area, just need to find what this is called. Okay, text area, and you can specify how many rows we want if we wanted to do that. Okay, no errors. Refresh, yes, that looks better, great. Then I just want to make sure that I fill out the whole screen. So on all of these, w-full and save, refresh, and then I fill out the whole screen, and the label is on a separate line. Nice. Okay, so then the next step is to add some space between these. So let me go back here and into the product form.html. I think that around here I can say div. No, maybe I can just add it to the form class space -y 5. Save, refresh, and yes, now I have space between all of these elements. Great. So then that looks much better. So I just want to do some tests here. If I try to save it as 100,00, enter a whole number. Okay, so this cannot be an integer field. Okay, so now this works as it should. And if I try to go to add product, the styling is also working here. Nice. So this form up here doesn't look very good, so I can try to fix that. Paste.html. Need to add some classes to this. So class py2 px4. So we have some space in this. The rest looks okay there. Maybe we want rounded corners. So rounded-xl and save. Great. And instead of saying search here, maybe we want to show an icon. We can use hero icons, which is a free service. Just go here and say search for search. Then we can use this copy SVG. Go back again. And then inside the button, I just paste this. So if I try to save this now and refresh on this page, we'll see this icon instead. Nice. So we need to do some more styling. I want the icon to be white. So this is maybe done here, text white. Yes, better, but I want it to be aligned on the same height. And to do that, we need to add a class to this form, class flex, and align, items center, save, like that. Nice. Maybe we want some more space between these two as well. And I can add that here by saying space -x 4. Great. So then that looks a little bit better. Then I just want to fix that my account and my store should be buttons and not links. So for both of these, we can add some space, py2 and px4. You can set the background to be a little bit darker than this. So bg teal 600. Okay, that was actually the color I have on the background. Okay, so change it to 800, like that. Nice. Maybe I also want these to have rounded corners. So at the end here, I can say rounded -xl and save. So now I have the same problem here with the spacing. So we need a new here. We can just say items center. Nice. Okay, so if I just added a little hover effect on these two buttons, we have come a far way. Hover BG teal 900. Yes, that is much better. So that means that now we have come even further on this project. We can go into the different categories. The about page is working, the search is working. Yes, nice. So then I can go back to the to-do list and don't check anything here because I haven't done anything in the to-do list right now. In the next part of this series, we're going to start working on the cart. If you have any questions about today's part, feel free to leave a comment below and I answer as soon as I can. See you in the next video.